Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of What's the Deal featuring Pat and Tim. This one's a little special for us. It's the NFL Draft edition of our ongoing series here. So we're going to be covering, Tim, you want to go to the next slide? We're going to be covering today the pre-owned manager checklist. Tim, I don't know about you, but I'm super excited to actually have something sports related tonight to go over.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, I can only watch reruns of sporting events for so much longer. So obviously,
doing that? I'm not even doing that. I've seen Big Bang Theory like 12 times. So,
Tim, go to the third slide if you don't mind.
Which one? This one here? Is this where you want to go?
No, all I see is the first slide here.
So clearly, I've. Oh, there we go.
Clearly, you're not sharing your screen.
Yeah.
So go back one.
There we go.
Tim's just so excited for the draft tonight, he forgot to hit the play button. So I apologize for that. As you can see, we're decked out in our favorite NFL gear. Tim's a Texans fan for whatever reason. I don't know why. I'm a Bills fan, born in Buffalo. I wanted to share two quick memories. Got to meet my boyhood hero at NADA. Never thought the car business would bring me to meet Jim Kelly.
Was he at? Whose booth was he at?
He was at some finance booth and he was signing autographs. It says "Big Time Patrick." And then also something my mom gave me. This is a game worn from 1994.
Wow.
1994 Jim Kelly jersey. There's still stains on it.
That's amazing. Yeah. You are a true fan. I wear my memorabilia. This is a hat signed by J.J. Watt.
Does he still play?
DeAndre Hopkins. A couple of the guys. We got it signed at spring training one year. Up in yeah. We don't have the history that you have as a Bills fan. And quite frankly,
you have a poll question or something you want to do before we get started?
Let me get to that. And quite frankly, we don't have the history. Draft day is not a big day in Texans world. We've gotten rid of every one of our first round draft picks. But it's something to watch, something to get excited about. Yes. All right. Poll question. Let's see. Do we have enough people online? 25 people online. All right. Let me figure out how to get this up. Please. Let's see. This is. I've worked hard on researching this.
I'm kind of
okay.
Scared.
Here we go. Distributing the poll. Is it up? Can you see it, Patrick?
Yeah, we lost you though.
Where'd I go?
So I haven't seen this yet. The worst team in Super Bowl history is the '91 Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, right. They were pretty bad. How about the '92 Bills? Or was it the '93 Bills that lost to Dallas? Or was it the '94 Bills that lost to Dallas? Or was it the Atlanta Falcons who choked against the New England? Wow. Clearly, Patrick, there are a lot of Bills fans.
Clearly. Thank you, everyone. The results are popping up. We'll give it a couple more seconds.
But it looks like you are in good company today here, Patrick.
Can you share the results so we can get started off this?
Okay, I'm going to close the poll. All right, we're closing the poll, and let me share the results. How about that? Can you see?
Yes. So the Atlanta Falcons, that was a good choke job.
Yes, 67% of you felt that the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, a couple of votes. Pretty evenly spread out amongst. Looks like those Buffalo Bills from '92 were not so bad.
All right, okay. Let's get to work.
All right, so if you have questions during today's discussion, put them in the question box. Looks like we got one here. I'll get to when we get started here in a second. And we're going to go through the pre-owned manager checklist. So full disclosure, this was a recommendation from somebody who was on one of our events, Marty from Land Rover, Jaguar, and Cary. So I think this is a good topic, right?
Yeah.
What do you do as you get in the morning? What sorts of things should you be looking through the FirstLook MAX system? So let's kick it off. Why don't you get us started here? First thing we think you guys should be doing.
Obviously, review your trades from the previous day. One small little thing that a lot of people don't do is designate the trades to a specific bucket. So Tim, go ahead and click into what those are. First one is you can designate a trade for retail, wholesale, or not traded in. And then when you go back into your trade manager, you can actually sort by those and look at those and review them. We got a lot of, we've been saying this over the last 5 episodes. We got a lot of time now. Traffic's down, sales are down. But you know, let's really dive in and make sure that we're not missing anything. So Tim, why don't you jump over to the.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to review missed trades. We built the system, so you should never miss reviewing a trade. But when you come into the appraisal manager, toggle over to the trades tab, and this is what you're talking about right here, right, Patrick?
Yeah, yeah. So you can designate it to, you know, what you think. You can also do that inside the appraisal when you're working a deal.
Wait, but you might show me. What are you talking about? Where's that?
You used to be able to.
Oh, right up here.
Yep, right up there.
Okay.
Good things never go out of style.
And you would designate what? How would you use these boxes again?
So, you know, if you're not obviously if you're taking it in and it's something that you're going to designate for retail or wholesale, you can split them up that way, or not trade it in. Obviously, not trade it in, we can figure out why, right? Bring the salesperson over. If you didn't do it the day of, do it the next morning. Bring the salesperson over. Maybe the customer was super upside down and you just couldn't put a deal together. But maybe, you know, especially right now, if we had to step up just a little bit to make a car deal happen, let's go ahead and do so. Where are you going now?
Yeah, so no, if I designate this one, let's just say we're going to get it and we're going to wholesale it. Here it goes. It creates its own little box down there, right?
Yeah. So if you're doing that consistently on a daily basis, when you come in, you won't have to go through the ones that we know that we traded for. And also, if you're bringing something in that you know is going to be retail, you do have the ability to take into inventory right away. So Tim, why don't you pop back into that appraisal? So at the bottom of this screen here, there's a button that says take into inventory. What that does is it overrides the DMS integration that we have with your DMS provider, and it'll push it right into the system. And then once that record comes into inventory from the DMS, that record will supersede that one. So we have the clean, so we know exactly what the unit cost is, what the recon numbers are on it. But if you want to get taking a trade this morning and you want to put it online this afternoon, especially it's Thursday, you know, if you got maybe a slow process with your accounting, push it in the system. Yeah. It goes right into Max. From there, you can build your ad description. You can take photos of it, and then in our next syndication file, it'll push online, and it'll be on all your third-party sites. So just a good way to kind of, you know, override the typical process within the within the system.
Good advice. There you go. So getting on that trade manager, I like it. Second thing, I think after you go through review yesterday's missed trades in the trade manager, I think you hop right into quick planning. We dedicated an entire episode of this, you know, whatever we're calling this thing, what's the deal? But the deal is get into quick planning and manage your inventory. And especially in today's environment, you know, you want to be looking at your inventory every 5 to 7 days max, right? No pun intended.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to go back into quick planning. We've done that.
Actually, go into quick planning real fast, because I forgot about something that our good friend at Hendrick, Jason Pickering, was talking about today. So go open up a plan tab.
Okay.
And so after you plan this, when your car jumps a bucket, that's when it pops back into planning, or your quick planning. One thing that Jason's been telling the Hendrick guys is next plan date, Tim, on the bottom right.
Yep.
Maybe we push this out 5 days. So if your bucket, you know, the next time that this car would be, you know, you have to look at it is 10 days out. Maybe we cut that in half, and then it'll pop back.
Let's get one here. It's not so old. There we go. Like this one here, this Mini Cooper. So it's going to come out. Yeah. We look at it in the calendar. It's going to come out here on the 20th. It's the 23rd. We're going to see it next time on the 30th. Maybe we want to see it on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was just reading a text from one of our dealers that's up in the Northeast. He's a huge Pats fan. It's Todd. Yeah. Todd, hi. Hope you guys are safe up there, Todd.
How's it feel to be a Pats fan these days?
The Bucks are the Pats South now.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to remind everyone that functionality is there, because it's super important, you know, to look at your inventory pretty consistently, especially now.
Yeah.
Tim, I heard a stat. Well, you go back to the checklist. Manheim typically runs about 175,000 used cars a week through all their on all their auctions across the country. Do you know how many they did last week, Tim?
Half of that?
19,000. So from 175 to 19,000. So
Yeah.
hang in there. It's one thing that another thing that I learned from Jason over our meetings over the last 2 days. Last week he saw about 50 eyeballs on average on the simulcast auctions. This week he saw about 150. So more people are starting to jump on. The sell-through rate's a little bit better, but not great. So there's hope out there. So just keep plugging away. What's the next one, Tim?
The Max Not Online report. So we have this in the daily checklist. I think if you're going through the system, you're probably looking at this a lot. You're probably glancing right over it. You can get a quick idea of what that is right here. It's the Not Online report. You can also, if you click in and you view it, this is what it looks like. And here's how the Not Online report works. So Max is a web syndication tool, like Patrick said before. So we send think of it this way, the last file of the night, we send to your website. We get a file back from them. It says, okay, we sent to website 100 cars, but we only saw 97 of them. Here are the 3 cars that did not get put online. And listen, it's not the end all be all, but it's a good place to start and make sure that you don't have a leaky pipe somewhere.
Yeah.
I recommend checking this every day. All right, next.
Is that why we're calling this a daily activity?
Hey, I went to Springfield College. I got a good education. All right,
you gotta learn how to do build.
This Google Sheets, man. There's got to be a way to fix it. All right, so the trade walk. All right, we've been talking a bunch about this. Okay, how do you do a trade walk? How would you conduct it?
So on those retail pieces that you're bringing in, the next morning, not only walk them to make sure that they're getting into service in a timely manner, but walk your sales folks around them too. Talk about the car. Is the salesperson that took that trade in, that worked with that customer, do they know anything special about the car? It was a local trade in, it was serviced here, it was bought here, things like that. Just get your sales folks are familiar with the new inventory that's coming in, because we want to get them excited to turn that inventory fast, right?
So I found a pretty good report in Max Reports. It's the appraisal log. If your store does a good job of closing deals every night and all your trades come in, you could come in and run this appraisal log and have all your closed appraisals here, and you can sort this by analyzed or received date and have a good idea of what trades were closed, okay, and the information that came over.
And it's not in the bullet point, Tim, but I think another good one is lot walks. Everyone should have the mobile appraiser on their phone. One great thing about the mobile appraiser is not only can you use it to appraise the car at the car, but you can also, it has all your inventory in it with your Profit Max pricing tool. So you can go walk the lot, walk your old age inventory. We got time on our hands right now. Take your phone with you, and while you're standing at the car, you can actually look at the market listings, look at the day's supply, and adjust your price right there. So you don't have to write it down. And remember, Tim, if you recall back in the day at CarMax, we'd have sheets of paper flying all around on the lot and the black books in our hands that we're flipping through. Now utilize technology to do it all while you're standing at the car.
Yeah, so we used to do the recon walk on our way back from the trade walk. We kept the trades at the back of the lot. Probably most guys do, I don't know. And then so make sure it's a good, maybe you designate this to somebody else, or make sure you want to make sure it's getting done every day, touching your mechanics, touching your inventory, be sure cars are moving through the zones efficiently. Previous days sold log, man, I'll tell you what, how many times have you seen a deal get desked and something got wrong? Somebody fat fingered it, somebody read the trade wrong, or they bumped your trade. If you are not reviewing your deal log every single day, you're costing yourself money. There is a deal log inside FirstLook, just so you all know. At the top here in reports, it's the deal log. So we'll get the feed right from the DMS, and you can break it out. We'll break out your retail deals. We'll also break out your wholesale deals. I would encourage you to go through this probably every day. If you want to, you want to catch something wrong, you need to get on it right as soon as it gets wrong.
Yeah, the only caveat to that, Tim, is I would add, if you desk a deal tonight, it may not show in here because it hasn't been finalized through your accounting department yet and the DMS. So we're getting this data straight from the DMS. So if it's off by a few days, there's not a reporting issue. It's just there's a lag in the process. We can change that. We can change that to what status the vehicle that when you put it into your DMS, depending on what status. So if that's something that you want to do, call your account rep, or you can reach out to Tim or I. We can help you with that. But just didn't want to get a bunch of data calls, Tim.
That's fine. Hey, Pat, I'm going to give out Patrick's personal cell phone. We're done here. You call him with all your help desk problems. And then previous days sold. Oh, there you go. And then a BDC check-in. Current days, next day's appointments. I think this just goes to running a good business. Are you on track? If you don't have enough, especially in this world, if you don't have enough internet appointments or things happening, enough activity, you're going to fall off.
Yeah.
So, so this was, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to add one thing. So when we're walking that inventory, we talked about walking your old age stuff with the mobile appraiser, but also get your sales folks out of the showroom and have them walk those cars with you too, and bring along your phone and have them bring their phone along. If you have digital showroom, everyone should have digital showroom on their phones. Have them, tell you what's special about that car. It might have a lot of OEM packages. It might be, really low mileage. It might be, a rare color that's hard to find. So, get the sales folks involved now, especially now. Well, I keep going back to it's slow, but it is. Sales are down depending on what part of the country you're in. Start working on some of these habits now, so when things pick back up, you got the right discipline in place to do this. It's kind of hard to do it when you're selling 15, 20 cars a day and you're running around like crazy. But now, while we have some time, let's put these best practices in effect. So sorry to cut you off, Tim.
Yeah, no. So we did have the daily checklist. We did add some weekly activities that you could consider. I think you walk the lot once a week. We've touched on that a bunch. Your low online activity report, your high online activity report, if you're a store that receives VDP, click-through rate data in our tool. I think time to market check-in is something you need to continue to watch if you're starting to see it slip, right? You'll catch that on the MAX dashboard. I think a weekly review of your cars sold wholesale is important, is a key. I think I pulled up where do you get that? You go to the reports tab here, and in the sales, it's the wholesale breakdown, or you could use the deal log. I like the wholesale breakdown because it looks at both immediate and aged wholesale. We've talked a lot about the difference between the two. Expectations are set a little differently. So,
hey Timmy, while you're in reports, go back for a second.
Yeah.
Go to the inventory report, the new water report that we built. Maybe we haven't talked about this since we released it last week, but the vehicle value loss overview. This is a new report that we just added last week. What this looks at is MMR, so your Manheim market report, and then what would be a 10% loss, 15, 20, 25. Nobody knows where the market's going right now, but if you want to kind of get a gauge when the market reopens in certain states and Manheim's off by 10%, this is what your water looks like at a 10%, 15, 20% loss. So hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but nobody knows. So we just want to give you the tools to properly manage that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll post this. I'll post this link on the Facebook page. This is a good new report that we need to be talking more about. Yeah. I agree with you. I think that there's the weekly activities. A digital lot walk. Get on your website, I think, once a week and shop your inventory. Make sure your picture guy is doing his job. If you're delegating comments and merchandising out, descriptions, get on Auto Trader, get on Cars Gurus, however, just, make sure you we do with the physical lot walk, but we got to do the digital lot walk too.
Yeah, see what your customers are seeing, right?
Yeah.
Like when somebody's shopping, you know, how does your virtual lot stand tall online?
Yeah. And then finally, I put a couple of monthly activities on here. You know, I know that the guys at Hendrick, they've got to sign off on the water report once a month. I think it's a great activity. You just make sure you got every car on, you know, accounted for. A BDC lead source review. You know, you got to hold your vendors accountable. I get held accountable all the time. Guys calling me and saying, "What are you doing for me?" So I'm doing a podcast or a webcast for you. That's what I'm doing for you. No, just kidding. But, you know, make sure you're getting your money's worth out of the lead sources. And I'm not saying go, you know, cancel them. No, you know, hey, call up the rep and say, listen, I saw a dip in my leads. What am I doing differently? You know, if most tools do a gazillion things, you know, take advantage of that. And I think if you're a used car manager or an inventory or asset manager and you're coming up and you want to get promoted or you're looking to get to the next level, ask the GM to get involved with an asset review or a review of the department expenses. Start to understand and take control of, you know, ownership of what you do. It'll only help you in your career, you know, further your education. You want to make sure you're consistent. You know, I get calls all the time. Hey, your bill last month was, you know, X. How come it went up this month? So on and so forth. Good stuff.
So Tim, I want to make sure that we don't forget this point. In your webinar, in the box where you can, you know, put questions and all that, there's one that says there should be a drop down that says handouts. We put these activities in a handout that you can download. So instead of reaching out to us, we thought we'd, you know, give you the opportunity right now. So if you hit the drop down under handouts, there's a PDF there. Just click that and it should download to your desktop and then print it out. So if you're a GM out there and, you know, you want to give this to your used car manager, or if you're a used car manager and you want to use it, you know, call us up, call your rep up if you want to review any of the the information that we talked about. We can help them, you know, hands-on. But also, we are recording all these sessions. So inside of excuse me, inside of FirstLook, there's a link that you can go to and look at the past 5. We're doing a lot of webinars right now, not just myself and Tim, but other people in the company. So, you know, if you got some downtime and you want to learn a little bit more, you know, feel free to take advantage of that. So Tim, any parting words of wisdom?
No, I'm gonna watch the virtual NFL draft tonight. Should be fun. I'm excited to see. Goodell says that he's gonna like somehow let people boo him, which I don't know how they're gonna do that. I'm looking forward to it.
Probably gonna have his kids in the basement with him. Go back one slide for me, please, real fast. Because we got some new people on the line that if you need to contact me, there's my contact info. I actually do dress professional sometimes, or follow me on LinkedIn. And then Tim's Facebook page. It's a closed Facebook page for the automotive industry. It's not our customers, or it's our customers and then anyone in the industry. And we don't talk product specific, but we talk about best practices, and there's a lot of meaningful engagement on that site. So feel free to join. Tim's been doing that for a couple years now, and it's great content. So go Bills, and we'll see you guys next time, next Tuesday, same time, same place. Thanks everyone.
See you guys.